Now that some regions have the new Galaxy Tab A11 Plus, how does it compare to the new Galaxy Tab S10 Lite? Which is better? Well, don't forget to hit that hype button down below so others will see this video, but let's go ahead and get started. The Tab A11 is around $200 or less depending on your location. The Tab S10 Lite has already been on sale when it just came out, currently at just under $300. They both start with 128 gigabytes of storage and 6 gigabytes of RAM. They both have an option to go with 256 gigabytes and 8 gigabytes of RAM as well. Both of these also take a micro SD card to expand the storage. You're also going to have pogo pins on the bottom of the S10 Lite for keyboard cases and other accessories, where you don't have that on the A11 Plus. The Tab A11 Plus is just a little bit lighter, 477 grams versus 524 for the S10 Lite. The A11 Plus is actually a little bit thicker though, and the S10 Lite just feels and looks a little more premium with its all metal build versus some plastic on the back of the A11 Plus. You'll also notice they switched the power and volume buttons on the A11 Plus. I actually thought it was that way on the S10 Lite, but it's not. Both of these have an 11-inch TFT LCD display at up to 90 Hz refresh rate, but a little higher resolution on the S10 Lite at 1320 by 2112 versus 1200 by 1900 on the A11 Plus. They actually look pretty similar as far as viewing angles and overall quality. I think the colors probably look a little more vibrant and more natural on the S10 Lite. I think the S10 Lite is supposed to be 600 nits brightness versus 480 on the Tab A11 Plus, but when you put these two next to each other, I think they're so close. In fact, sometimes the A11 Plus looks a little brighter, just depending on what you're looking at. I think the bezels on the A11 Plus actually look a tad larger, but again, they're pretty similar, so I don't think you can go wrong with either one as far as screen quality goes. You get a little bit larger battery on the S10 Lite at 8,000 milliamp hours versus 7,040 on the A11 Plus. So not a huge surprise, but the S10 Lite lasted an hour longer in my typical battery drain test at 7.5 hours versus 6.5 hours for the A11 Plus. And you also get 25 watt fast charging for both of these tablets. So the A11 Plus is decent, but if you want the tablet with better battery life, you'll want to go with the S10 Lite. As far as software goes, these two are going to be almost identical, except for the fact that you get the S Pen included with the S10 Lite, which is definitely one of the best ways for drawing, taking notes, or just moving around the software. Both of these are on Android 16, One UI 8. They both have Samsung DeX. You've got the Edge panel over on the side, the taskbar at the bottom. You've got the option of Google Discover or Samsung News left of the home screen. Probably the best part for both of these tablets is you're going to get 7 years of software updates, which is going to be better than pretty much every other tablet out there, especially at this price. You won't get video out on either one of these. To use an HDMI adapter, unfortunately, you would have to go up to the S11 series, but you do have wireless options for both. Kind of personal preference on whether you need the S Pen or not. For me, it's definitely nice to have, even if you don't use it all the time. Now, performance-wise, the A11 Plus, you get the Dimensity 7300 versus Exynos 1380 for the S10 Lite. It's actually really close between these two, as you can see by the benchmark scores. The S10 Lite might have slightly better GPU performance, but again, it's going to be very similar, so you can't go wrong with either one. You can do multitasking fairly smooth on both of these. I think both are good options for some light gaming as well. They seem pretty comparable when playing games like PUBG Mobile and Asphalt Legends Unite. I also like the size on these two. They're not so large. It's still pretty easy to reach things on the screen, so it doesn't feel too awkward or uncomfortable after gaming on both of these for a while. Surprisingly, the cheaper A11 Plus has a quad speaker setup versus only 2 on the S10 Lite, and you also get a headphone jack on the A11 Plus, which I always think is nice to have, especially if you're traveling and you don't want to mess with charging Bluetooth headphones. Here's a quick sample of each to see if you can hear a difference between the two. When it comes to cameras, both tablets have an 8 megapixel on the back, 5 megapixel on the front. You can shoot up to 1080p resolution for video recording on both tablets. I think if you need to take a lot of notes, or you just want to draw, or if you want the longer battery life, I think it makes sense to go with the Tab S10 Lite. But if you want the better speakers for watching movies, TV shows, plus you want a headphone jack, and at a lower price, then yeah, you'd want to go with the A11 Plus. Hopefully this video was helpful. Don't forget to hit the hype button down below so other people see this video as well. I know I've got a lot more comparisons I'm working on for the Tab A11 Plus, not to mention some new tablets on the way, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.